How many hours do you put into work, hobbies, activities, and family life? And where does the energy come from? It's a really good question. I honestly can't say how many hours. Well, in terms of work, like my job, like I said, I was working full-time in a daycare, and those were 8.5 to 9 hour shifts. And I was not handling that well at all. When I was working full-time, with those types of hours, I basically, it was 8.5 to 9 hours a day was work. And then my evenings was basically laying on the couch watching TV because I had no energy left to do any of my hobbies. I really didn't have anything left of me to give to my husband, or friends. And, even on the weekends, like, I didn't do much socially because I was just recuperating from the work week. Now that I'm working part-time, I'm working 5 hours a day. And I finish at 1, I'm home by 2. So right now I've just been settling into the new routine. So I haven't really been, doing certain hours on certain things. But my plan going forward is to come home at 2 o'clock and do some reborning before dinner, get dinner ready, and then after dinner will be time for me and my husband, and just unwinding and watching my shows and relaxing. Yeah, family, we usually see our family on the major holidays and stuff, and birthdays and stuff. Occasionally we'll see them in between. Like sometimes my mom will come over. If Alex is out with his friends, she'll come over and watch a movie with me. Or I'll go out to a movie with her and my grandmother. But it doesn't happen like every week or anything. Friends, all my friends are married. Most of them have children, so it's really difficult for them to find time to get together. So socially, like, I have been able to get more social lately because I've met some new friends through the Michaels classes and through the reborning side of things. So I have been socializing a little bit more. I would say it's probably like a couple of hours a month. Maybe like 3 to 4 hours a month, if anything. And as for like my arts and crafts, aside from reborning, like scrapbooking and stuff, right now I haven't been really doing any scrapbooking at home. I've just been doing it when I go to the crops, which is once a month. And it's like a 6-hour day once a month. Although I didn't go this month because they had one last weekend and one today, and I was just too busy with other stuff. But I'll go next month. And then of course, like, there's the classes. Like, I have a couple of those a month, and the classes are usually like 2-hour classes. So yeah, I guess that's it. And as for where does the energy come from, like I said, when I was working full-time, I really had no energy left over. And I really was like a walking zombie all day at work. I honestly have no idea how I worked 8.5 to 9 hours a day for almost a full year before, being able to go to part-time. And taking care of like a whole room full of toddlers. I really don't know how I did it. I just pushed myself beyond what I probably should have been, and I knew I was getting sicker, and I knew it was not good. So I got on it, and I worked my butt off to find a part-time job that I could handle hour-wise, duty-wise, and financially wise. And so now the job that I have, like, yeah, it's really hard. I got to get up at like 6 in the morning. I find that really difficult. But it helps that I'm allowed to take a sleeping pill every second night now. That way, every second night I get a good night's sleep. And that helps my energy a little bit. And, you know, my job now is really slow paced. And I can kind of, I can just pace myself and I can rest when I need to, and it just works really well. And so because of that, I now have more energy. I've found that my fatigue is not as severe as it was. I still have my moments where my evenings are flaked out on the couch and I can't find the energy to do anything else, but I'm finding that I'm having more good days now than bad days ever since starting this part-time job, which is really good. Are you in remission? I have no idea. I was told by my current rheumatologist that it looked like I'm in remission. And the lupus clinic is saying that they're not finding lupus on my blood work. So I really don't know. I don't know if I'm in remission or not. I personally don't feel as though I'm in remission. Like I said, I have been feeling better since working part-time, but I really don't feel 100% well enough to say, yeah, I'm in remission. So as we all know, like, blood work isn't everything, and I really don't feel like I'm in remission. I still get nausea sometimes. I still get joint pain. I still get fatigue. So I really don't believe that I am. I honestly don't know. And I honestly have yet to meet a loopy that's in remission. So, yeah. Have you or do you plan to make handmade Christmas cards and gifts? I haven't, but I do plan on it. I'm going to be making Christmas cards at the Christmas card classes that I'm doing, so those will be my handmade Christmas cards. I am planning to make some Christmas gifts, but I cannot say what at this point in time, just in case the people that the gifts are for are watching, and I want it to be a surprise. But I was inspired by some of the things I learned in class, so I'm going to make a couple of Christmas gifts. But they're like really simple, so I should be able to do them in like a day. What made you interested in reborns? This is going to take a long time to well, not a long time to answer, but it's going to take a while, and I only have like 8 minutes left on my camera. So I think I'm going to make a separate video just to answer that question. Where do you hope to see yourself in 5 years? I hope that we will have a house and a baby, a child. I want to have a child, like, so bad. And I hope that I'll be healthier and I'll be able to do that. And also, my goal is for us to get a house so that we have the space to have a child. And also that we'll have the space for me to have my own workspace for reborning, as well as having space in a basement area to make my own preschool. I'd like to have my own preschool. It would be great to be able to work from home completely. And I'm laying out the plans for it all now. I'm starting to take inventory of the supplies that I already have for the kids, and then I'm going to just figure out what I need and how much money it will take to get those, so I can start saving for it. And then I'm also going to start formulating the curriculum and the activities and things like that. And my plan is to have a preschool where I would have a morning group and an afternoon group, kind of like kindergarten. And there's a lot of, preschools like that in Toronto that seem to do very well. And so I would love to have one so that I would have like a group of 5 kids in the morning and a group of 5 kids in the afternoon. I would have a nice break in between to rest. And I would hire, supply staff in case I'm sick or have doctor's appointments or I just want time off to rest. I worked it all out. The money that I could make there is like double what I could make in a daycare center, and I would at least be my own boss, and I would have a manageable amount of kids and manageable amount of hours for my health. I think it would work out really well. So that's the goal. House, open my own preschool, and have a baby in the next 5 years, hopefully. Hopefully less than 5 years. How long have you been reborning? I made my first reborn at the end of 2008. And then I was so busy planning my wedding into that I didn't make another one until fall of 2009. And then I have been reborning baby after baby since 2009. Have they figured out what's wrong with me if I don't have lupus? I think I pretty much already answered that. We don't know what's going on. Are you an artist? I consider myself an artist because, for one thing, I've always been really creative from the time I was a kid. Like I said, dancing, singing, acting, and now, painting, crafting, scrapbooking. It's all art. It's all creativity. So, yes, I consider myself an artist. This is like a great question to end on. Do you say tomato or tomato? And I say tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. Okay, so that is the end of the Q&A, which is awesome because I only have 4 minutes left on this tape, which, as it so turns out, probably, you know what, I probably could quickly answer the question of what got me interested in reborns, and I will try to do it as quick as I can. So in high school, I had the Baby Think It Over program. I absolutely loved it because I have always loved children and I've always loved dolls. Probably because I love children. And years later, when I got, my own computer with the internet, I started searching out, trying to find out if I could actually buy one of the Baby Think It Over dolls. Through that, I stumbled across reborns on eBay. And I loved them, and I almost went and bought one of those, but I found out about the Neonates, which is the sister company to Baby Think It Over, and I ended up buying that because I really wanted the interactive electronic doll at that time. Did that for a couple of years, discovered Ashton Drake, got a couple of Ashton Drake dolls, and yeah, it just kind of went from there because over those years, from the time that I first saw reborns to the time that, I saw reborns later on, they had progressed so much and become much more realistic, and they had all these beautiful kits, and they just looked so real. And so then I really wanted a reborn, and I bought my first reborn, and then I had a friend who made reborns, and I decided to just jump into it and have her teach me to reborn, and I've been hooked ever since. And I think it's really just, I have a strong maternal instinct. I love children. I love the art side of the dolls, and I love the comfort side of the dolls. I find it comforting to hold them. I find it relaxing to dress them up and change them into fun outfits. And it just kind of temporarily fills the void of wanting to have a baby until we can finally have a baby, which I'm hoping will be as soon as possible, because I've been around a newborn all week this week at work, and it's driving me crazy because I really want to have a real one. And so yeah, I'm down to 1 minute now, and so I've answered all the questions, yay! So thank you everyone, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the questions, and I hope you found this informative and not boring. See you guys in the next video. Bye.